Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell. In this video, we're going to continue on with the maintenance phase, and we're going to look at training and development. So training refers to improving an employee's skills and knowledge to help them perform their job more effectively and efficiently. And what we can do, training can be on the job where the employee, actually it performs at their job and then learns while they're performing their job. Or it can be done off the job where they actually, leave the workplace and go somewhere, to a course or, to an external course or something like that, where they do classroom activities, simulations, and, anything and everything to actually improve their skills and abilities away from the actual job. So that's what training is, and it's a really important element of improving the employee's skills to perform at their job more effectively and efficiently. So the benefits of training, when you think about this, I want you to think about the benefits for the employee and also the employer, because you're not sure what kind of question you're going to get, whether it's, the questions coming from an employee perspective or from an employer perspective. So let's just look at both. So the benefits to the employee: increase self-esteem because they're performing at their job, they're better at their job, so that increases self-esteem. Gives them opportunities for promotion, again, because if their improved performance, and as a result, linked to those two is improved performance, can give them more job security. Doesn't guarantee they're going, their job, but it gives them a sense that they're going to have longevity in their job because the organisation is investing in them. Also, they're better at their job, so they're less likely to lose their job. They can feel valued, happier at work due to improved performance, and also more adaptable because they've developed more skills along the way. Benefits to the employer: increased productivity due to the improved performance. More likely to achieve objectives, again, because the employees are developing more skills and abilities. Fewer errors because they're better at their job. More adaptable workforce. As the employees develop more skills, they're more adaptable and increases flexibility so that they can take on, the same amount of employees can take on different number of tasks. Higher morale as the employees feel valued. Less staff turnover and increased motivation are also benefits to the employer. Development. This is a little bit like recruitment and selection, where they are separate things, but they go hand in hand together. It's hard to select someone without having recruitment first. Same thing, it's hard to develop someone without some kind of training, but they are different. So development is the activities that prepare employees to take on greater responsibility within the organisation. So training is about improving the skills and abilities to help the employee perform better at their job. Development is about preparing employees to take on greater responsibility into the future. Now, effective development programs can help retain employees and improve motivation as they take on greater responsibility. If you think back to your motivation theories, responsibility is one of the key motivators, key intrinsic motivators. So obviously development can really help in that area. Now, training is a large part of development. I mean, no one could say that, in order to develop an employee, you don't do training. Of course that can be done in order to, could be, leadership training, anything like that to take on greater responsibility. But it can also be done in other methods as well. So mentoring, where the employer has a mentor to look after them and help coach them, to take on the greater responsibility. Job rotation, so that they're doing different jobs along the way. Again, gaining more experience and knowledge in different areas. And delegation, if a senior manager or their manager delegates responsibility to them from time to time, that can help develop their knowledge and abilities to take on that greater responsibility long term into the future. And developing staff helps with the organisation succession planning. We've mentioned that term before, but succession planning is if a manager leaves, then they've got people. The organisation has people underneath that ready to step into that role. So again, if managers leave and you've been developing the employees to take on greater responsibility, hopefully there's people within the organisation that can then take on that particular role. So possible drawbacks, again, always thinking of possible drawbacks in case you have to discuss a question like this. Cost, loss of productivity while the employees are being trained. The employee may leave the organisation, after they've been trained. So the organisation spends money and loses productivity to, develop the skills and knowledge of the employee. But then the employee may leave the organisation, and obviously then that investment is lost. It could be conflict if training is not accessible to all employees. When we went through ethics and social responsibility in human resource management, that was one of the issues to ensure that training and development is accessible to all employees, not just a select few, and also it takes time to actually train the employees. So there's some of the drawbacks that you can think of that you can possibly use if you're asked to discuss a particular question on training and development. Just to recap, training, improving the skills, knowledge of staff to enhance their performance can be done on the job or off the job, and there's benefits for both the employer and the employee, and it's important that you know those, both of those. And also development, preparing staff to take on greater responsibility, and that can be done through training, mentoring, job rotation, and delegation. And as always be thinking about drawbacks in case you have to discuss a question like that. For questions, activities, and more, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.